Hi, Team Makana. This is Mrs. Shomura-Takata. I know maybe not all of you were able to join us in our WebEx this morning to go over just some basic team information. So I'm creating this video for you to be able to access that information. Okay, so I just kind of want to start off with introductions. So I'm Mrs. Shomura-Takata. I will be your social studies and language arts teacher for some of you. And I work in a partnership with Mrs. Kawiho, who is the math and science teacher. Okay. I have a document here that's on the screen that I would like you to make sure that you have these forms in. So this might actually be more for your parents. So these are some forms that need to be completed by the families. The Technology Responsible Use Form, the 2020 Digital Device Usage Form, and those are for students who borrowed Chromebooks from the school. So if you didn't, don't worry about that, I guess. The Student Publication Audio Video Release Form, and you need to make sure that you have the yes or no box checked. Otherwise, it is not valid. Please make sure you have turned in the health card and the MVA card, as well as the grab and go meal survey. The school also wants parents to complete this 2020 parent technology survey, and it can be done online, but actually, as of right now, I didn't see it on the school website, so I don't know exactly where you get that. But some optional forms that should have come in your packet are the military recruiters request for student information, institutions of higher learning requests for student information. If your families want to join the PTSO for our school, there's a form in there. And if you would like to buy a yearbook, that is also in there. So some general information. Let me see. I'm going to pull this up. This is a copy of a schedule you should have gotten. Now, this is a suggested work schedule. We've kind of tried to make it so that you will all be on a schedule. So this came in the packet that you received when you did your drive-through pickup. As you can see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are all accounted for on this schedule. And it's broken down by times. So the first period, pretty much every day, is we're going to want you to go in and check your Google Sites. You're going to want to check your Mililani Middle email. We will want you to preview your Google Class assignments and any elective work you have. And then complete a daily check-in. So that is actually for the cores, and language arts and social studies have a class that's actually your check-in. So I'm going to flash that on the screen here. So do you see how it says daily check-in? So the whole team will be going in and doing a check-in that way. So every morning we're going to want you to come in and do that. Okay? For math and science, they are going to have a Google form on one of their Google classes. And so your teacher will, Mrs. Kawiho will explain to you how you're going to be checking in with her. So all of that you need to finish in that first 45-minute block of time. Okay? Then from 9:05 to 9:50, it will be social studies time. And so you're going to log in to my WebEx personal room, and we are going to have social studies time. After you log in, you should make sure your tab is open or another window is open for your Google Class. And then after I go over the instructional time, you can then work on your assignment. Okay? Then from 9:50 to 10:35, you're going to have science instructional time. And then you will log into Mrs. Kawiho's WebEx personal room, and she's going to go over her science class with you, and then you're going to want to open up your science Google Classroom, and then you will have time to work on those assignments. From 10:35 to 10:50, we will have a short break. And then from 10:50 to 11:35, you are going to be having time specifically designated for you to read, because one of an important thing we want you to practice is reading. so you can increase your reading comprehension. And so we're allotting this time, this 45 minutes, for you to do an independent reading time. And during that time, you're going to be reading your book. Especially for language arts, you're going to have to finish reading a book this quarter and writing about it. And that's what it says here. Work on your independent reading assignment. And that assignment is due on the 2nd. Actually, I think it might be the 1st. But it's due at the beginning of October, right before we go on break. Okay. So we're giving you, as part of the day, 45 minutes to read. You should be able to finish a book in that time and write about it, okay, if you're using your time wisely. After that, it'll be lunch. After lunch, from 12:05 to 12:50, it will be math time. So you will log into Mrs. Kawiho's WebEx room, and she will go over your math, and then you will have time to work on your work. From 12:50 to 1:35, it will be language arts time. And you will go into my my personal WebEx room, and we'll do language arts. Just a side note, if you don't have Mrs. Kawiho or me for language arts or math, then you will go to your language arts or math teacher's WebEx. Okay. And so in language arts, you will pull up your Google Class, and I will go over the assignments and do my lesson, and then I'll give you guys time to do your work. From 1:35 to 2:35, on Mondays, we will have office hours / advisory. So during this time, it's time for you to come and ask your questions. If you're confused about an assignment, you come into our personal room. If we're going to have an advisory time, we will let you know in advance about that. Okay, so the schedule is the same pretty much every single day, except Wednesday. If you look at Wednesday, I'm going to zoom in. Wednesday, here's Wednesday right here. If you go down, all the cores and the independent reading is all the same. But at the end of the day, from the 1:35 to 2:35, there are no office hours. So you're going to want to ask your questions during the virtual instruction time. Okay, and if you come up with a question after, you can always text us or email us and ask us questions as well. That's why it's kind of important for you guys to do this previewing of the work in the morning. Okay, so this is what your schedule is going to be like on a day that there is a holiday. So like this Friday, there's a holiday. We won't be holding any virtual classes. It's like when you're regularly in school, you're not going to have to show up to WebEx. Okay. All right. After that, next I want to go over some WebEx etiquette. So this went home, your parents got a copy of this when they filled out the consent form for you to join our WebEx. And this is basically what Yellow 6 teachers are expecting when we have a WebEx, and we expect certain behaviors that are appropriate because we're in school. So I will be giving you guys a copy of this as well. So upon entering your teacher's virtual class time, please put your microphone on mute. During the class session, when you have a question, you will unmute your microphone and say your name and wait for your teacher to say your name or acknowledge you. And then you can ask your question. Okay? Do not chat unnecessarily with others during the meeting. Any chatting should be focused on the topic and or helping participants who are having problems accessing WebEx. The teachers will be monitoring the chat and will note any students misusing the chat feature. Remember, when we are doing virtual class, you're not gaming, and your attention should really be focused on the teachers and people who are talking and what's being presented. So for math and science, the chat feature will be used for you guys to ask questions as well. If you guys behave inappropriately, you will receive a verbal warning. Now, we're going to be in a WebEx, so I might say your name, like, my name is Sandra. Sandra, stop that, okay? It's the way I got to do it. So just know that you'll get a verbal warning. And if the behavior continues, I'll be letting your parents know. And then I have to also let the administration, so the principal and VPs know, okay? When you set up your digital device, make sure it's in a place that respects your family's privacy. Like you don't want the back to be like the bathroom door or somebody's bedroom door, okay? So you want to put it in a place that's neutral, okay? I know this might be difficult, but I want you to try to set up your digital device in an area where you can minimize noise, like street noise or, you know, the weed whackers and blowers and leaf blowers and even other family members, okay? If it's possible, please try to use earbuds and headphones. I know last year when we were doing our WebExes at the end of the year, it was really hard because sometimes people's earphones didn't work. So it's only if possible, okay? Try to refrain from eating and drinking during a live WebEx. And this last one is pretty important. Do not screenshot or record any of our WebEx meeting. In addition, no pictures or video of any kind should be taken of our WebEx meeting with a cell phone. So you shouldn't be with your computer screenshotting anything or with your cell phone taking a picture. And this is because there is a law, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Acts, the FERPA law. So we need to follow that law, okay? We want to remind you that we are all in the process of learning and getting comfortable with using WebEx for classes. So please remember to be respectful, be patient. Teachers will be patient too, we know. We're going to try to be kind during these virtual meetings because we are all learning together, okay? All right. So I went over the daily check-ins. I'm going to go back to this page. So I want to kind of just quickly go over some of the support staff names you're going to need to know. One of the most important people as a yellow track student you'll need to know is the counselor. The yellow track counselor is Mrs. Carice Mao, and she will be working with yellow track students when they're in 6th grade, when they're in 7th grade, and when they're in 8th grade. So she kind of follows just yellow track. So she takes care of all the students. So you can contact Miss Mao if you have, and your parents can contact her if they have any concerns as well. If your parents want to have conferences, they would contact Miss Mao to set that up versus contacting Mrs. Kawiho or I directly. Okay. Our principal is Miss Eileen Chung. We have 5 assistant principals at Mililani Middle. One of them is Mr. Greg Nakasone. Another is Mr. Errol Han. Another is Mr. Joel Shiroma. Another is Mr. Jacob Kardash, and another is Mr. Jeffrey Horstman. Okay, so in case you ever hear these names, you will know who they are. Okay, next, iReady assessment. So I don't know if you guys did iReady when you were in elementary school, but at Mililani Middle, we use iReady. And so all the students will be taking the iReady beginning of the year assessment. And you're going to be taking it in 2 subject areas. You're going to be taking it in math and in language arts. And we're going to start the assessment on August 24th. Now, one thing we need to let you know is this assessment is meant to be difficult. You should expect that you're going to get about half of the questions incorrect. But we don't want you to worry, because that's how this program is assessing your actual level, okay? So each one, so math should take about 90 minutes and language arts should take about 90 minutes. We don't want you to spend too much time on one question, but we do want you to try your best, okay? So you got to kind of find that balance, but you can do it, okay? I want you to make sure that you have looked at and read your electives Google site. Now, on this sheet here that you will be getting a copy of, you can click here and it actually takes you to it's a link, so it'll take you to the site. But you'll click on that, it takes you to the MMS team and elective Google sites, and you can look for your elective and read up about what that elective is. Last thing, yearbook pictures. For now, as far as we know, the yearbook photos are on hold, and that's all the information we have. As more information is released, we will let you know. Okay, so with that said, I think I'm done with this. I know it was kind of long. Thank you for hanging in there with me. If you need to rewind this video because you missed something, go ahead and do so. If you have any questions after watching this video and rewinding and realizing I didn't answer, what you are wondering, please feel free to text or call my Google Voice, or you can email me, or you can contact me on Remind, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Okay? So thank you. Good job. I'm excited for the school year, and I'll see you later. Bye.